Hello, I'm back. So today the main focus will be showing the cloth simulation in Unreal, but I need to kind of backtrack before so that it links up with the previous video. I've been kind of hard at work in churning out the main character. I'm actually not 100% happy with the look of the female face. Right now she looks a little bit too, I don't know, like her face looks just not right. But the rest of the details are all there. I just am trying to push it as fast as possible into the engine. I can show you like right now I have a couple of like subdivision. I've sculpted all this, right? So these are basically the same set of information we are seeing in the previous video. And we do have, for example, this one that has the Dynamesh version, right? So it has all the very nice jeans kind of drapery fold, and over here we also have the boots. This morning I was busy with remeshing the wireframe so that we get kind of engine friendly poly count, and this one I think we can drop it down to like 2, for example. I think this was the version I dropped in. Subsequently it's going to be loaded in with a normal map, so we will get the high res detail, but for now I just need something that is kind of engine friendly. I think before that I also did all the poly grouping so that I got the proper wireframe for a human body. But this one I do have a separate tutorial for that, but for this vlog I didn't cover that in specific. But anyways, so as I mentioned, this is about the cloth, so let's focus on that. But main push on the last front is that I'm adding a lot of this fabric and the undergarments and this pants here, right? We also have the boots. But before we get into Unreal, there's a couple of steps we need to have it set up, right? And that's basically this part here, which is using Advanced Skeleton to rig the character, right? So right now this character is fully rigged. It's able to, it's also pin weighted, but I'm using just cage. Also with testing later on, we will see in the engine, the body proportions, like for example, the butt, I feel like it's a bit too popping out. I want to kind of melt that back down, and which is why I'm churning really fast to get into the engine right there and then see it in animation, and then from there I'm able to make certain tweaks back in the Zbrush stage here, right? I don't want to be perfect with this one, like even though right now I do like the overall silhouette, right? Nothing is kind of like boring. It has very interesting silhouette, but when it's animated it doesn't look that great, right? So I need to come back and do those refinement, and I'm always having that mindset that I will always have to come back. Same for this rigging as well. Overall I think the setup, it's really brief, and also just pushing through so that I have the full pipeline in, right? Like the character, it's fully rigged and ready for animation. And over here, like I just show you like this roll, for example, right? The boots is something that even though we've sculpted in Zbrush, is now ported into something that is healthy in terms of poly count, right? So this is a engine friendly detail. Later on we'll also see some of this drapery coming into work, like as the character is kind of moving, this natural drapery came up quite nicely. Like it almost looks like it's cloth sim, but it's not fully sculpted. The only cloth sim that we're getting is this jacket, the ponytail, and this fringes, right? So we will see that in engine. Let me just swing over to the engine for now. And we do have, I quickly used Advanced Skeleton to generate the animation cycle. I didn't animate this once. Eventually I will, but for now, again, because it's testing purposes, right, I really want to quickly see how the characters would look when they move. Anything that I want to tweak, like right now, as I mentioned, the butt looks really protruding. I want to kind of mute that down. But overall, I really love how everything is kind of coming together. These two are basically the same run cycle, right? And then these two are the walk cycle, so we can kind of see the front and back view. So I'm just gonna hit play. I'm also gonna stop the music so there's no overlapping. So engine do have sound as well, right? So this is pretty cool because just within, I think over the weekend I churned out the character, and then as of yesterday evening I finished the jacket, the clothing, the garments basically. And then today, just half day through, I am able to push to this stage where I'm able to see the character in engine, right? And this is the cloth sim that is kind of running, right? So you can see all this. These are dynamic. This is not animated or pre-sim. These are dynamic. So like how it's kind of pushing against the jacket, as you can see here, right? So if I can do a pause, right, you can see that the drapery is kind of clipping through because the capsule still needs adjusting. But you can also see like this here, like as it's kind of animating and swaying back and forth. That's fully coming from the cloth sim, right? Nothing of those portions are pre-simmed. So how do we set up this ones? Over here we've imported the characters, right? These two are the two files, FBX files that we've exported from Maya back into Unreal, and thereafter we need to do a right click and do create physics assets, right? So this is the one that creates the capsules. So when I bring this up, these are basically the capsule that the cloth fabric is interacting with, right? And this is where you can make the refinement. You can spend probably hours just to get it right. But for now, as I mentioned, I need to go all the way back to Zbrush, adjust the proportions that I needed, and probably many more iterations before I come back to this stage, right? And only till when I'm certain that it's gonna be the last time I'm gonna do it, then I'll be 100% perfect with where the positioning of the capsules are. Because right now, anything that I'm doing, it'll be throwaway work, and then I need to come back again later. Right, so this part is something that I don't want to repeat doing. And then within the character skeleton mesh, yeah, I can select the clothing. And let me just pause the game, probably because the game isn't paused. Let me see. Right, I can do a right click and then do, because it's already created. So let's say if I'm creating, I've selected a new geometry and I do a right click, I can do a create, rename this. And this one you call for the physics asset, right? So in this case, it's this guy here, this one, which is this one that carries the capsule. Right, and then once you have that in, then the cloth knows, okay, so you want me to interact with that physics capsules, and then it will be able to link that up. Once it is created, you'll see two. Right now I have one for the hair and one for the jacket. So this is for the clothing, and then inside there you are able to click this one, activate cloth paint. And then coming back down here, you could paint the value. Like right now I'm setting it to 5 because over here it was getting a little bit too kind of swingy, like it's just stretching quite a fair bit, right? I want to preserve some of those original skin weight as it's kind of moving against the back portion of the body, which is the shoulder blade and the spine. Over here, I think there was some bit of clipping through, so I probably that comes from the capsule, so we need to adjust that. And then you just basically paint and adjust the value as you want to. Like over here, it's probably 100%, and then over here it's like 50, and then 30, and then nothing. I think pink is just 0. So once that is done, save and then exit this one. If you guys want like a proper tutorial of this, again, let me know, and I'm gonna make one. Right now I do not have an audience, so this is just purely for my own devlog, and people can visit and see the work that I do. So the same thing applies for the fringe, right? I'm just kind of painting in that same UI just now, just to punch in some of those details so that I can get the physics to react, right? So nearer to the end of the fringe, it's kind of swing a bit more, and then when it's nearer to the root of the hair, it doesn't move much. Eventually, this hair will be done with hair cuts, right? So they will look like fiber meshes, but with transparency, like hair cuts. If you don't know haircuts, just look it up. You understand from there. And those haircuts will again react with physics, right? And then that's where I come in and do the painting. So again, these are nothing final. This is just early tests just to see how the character look and how cool they are. Like if I swing this, you can see the cloth is just interacting, right? Nothing here is pre-simmed or animated. Like I did not rig the cloth, right? So you can see I'm just rotating and she's able to move. Even the fringe, the ponytail, right? It's just kind of doing that. So it's amazing because this is the main character, and I would like to spend the budget on her. Eventually, when she's kind of moving around, this will add a lot of dynamic to it. Over here right now, I can see again the butt is kind of sticking too far out. Her legs looks a little bit too thick. The boots looks a little bit too huge as well. But other than those, the face, I think the face is something I need to refine, and those will come in many more passes with like ZBrush and Substance Painter, and just going back and forth. I did completely drop Marvelous Designer this time around, but eventually when I'm making more garments for customization, maybe I'll bring that back again. But for now, I think this is pretty good. This is a very good starting point. And imagine I'm just walking around in third person. I just have to set up the overall blueprint. Once the animation is in, I can hook them up into state machine, and all will be running properly. It's a very short one, 10 minutes, and I shall not hold on too much. All right, see you again in the next video. Bye bye.